Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Long time no see, but the 11th anniversary of One Piece Treasure Cruise is approaching, so I thought might as well give this a shot. Has the game improved? What has changed? What characters are we getting for the 11th anniversary? So in this video, just like we did last year for the 10th anniversary, we are going to rank all of the new upcoming legends in different categories. But of course, this is just for part 1. Bandai being Bandai, they can't do an anniversary right like they did last year. No, they will have the film red structure reappearing. So this is part 1. We are going to have more legends, including Super Sugo Fest ones of course, a couple of weeks after the first 3, and then a couple of weeks after that, we are most likely going to see part 3. And I have to say this because I always do in my rankings, this is One Piece Treasure Cruise. Everything depends on content and nowadays on a boosted list. So the best out of these 3 legends might be different depending on content. But it's not fun doing it that way, so we are going to try and generalize things, talk about new player stuff as well, and try to rank them. But first, we are going to begin by ranking the artworks. And I have to say, Kizaru is at number 3. I'm definitely not a big fan of the fact that we also have Gear 5 Luffy for some reason in the artwork. This is illustrated like a versus unit, but it is a solo Kizaru unit. It's not a versus unit, not a dual unit. Luffy has nothing to do with the unit other than being canonically in the fight. Doesn't really make sense why they made it this way. It does look cool, no doubt, but I have to place it number 3. At number 2, we are going to have Luffy and Zoro and Sanji, like the poor soul in the promotional video had to say a billion times because he was probably not allowed to say Luffy, Zoro, Sanji. I am sorry for that, my friend, but this is not even a simple OPTC artwork anymore. This is just a full-blown cover artwork or a wallpaper artwork. It looks awesome, but each of these 3 characters will also have the unique OPTC styled artwork. You can just change between them, and some of the other Straw Hats will also be shown in the background, just like in the overall artwork. This looks awesome, I have to admit, with their egghead attires, Luffy Gear 5, we see the Haki animations as well. But even with the full-blown cover artwork, I cannot place them over One Piece Magazine Nami. She simply looks incredible, I love the artwork. One Piece Magazine is absolutely cooking. They did it with Oira and Yamato as well. And 3 Sword style Nami looks amazing. Definitely takes the throne in the art rankings. Next up, we are going to talk about the ink animations each of these characters get. Number 3, I have to put Nami here. Simply because I do not think she gets anything special. Like, the simple artwork might even be better than the animated one. I don't really like it. Super simple, very subtle, nothing special. By far the worst one. At number 2, I will place Kizaru with all of the Conqueror's Haki. It looks nice. He does have Gear 5 in the artwork, I know, for some reason, but the animated artwork still looks clean. And number 1, of course, with the entirety of the movie we get and the dynamic artwork with Luffy, Zoro and Sanji, they will go number 1. It's not really even a competition. And now, time to rank them based on their abilities. PvE abilities, by the way, not Pirate Rumble. And of course, we are also going to analyze every single character. Let's begin with number 3, the worst one technically, Nami. First of all, she is an anniversary exclusive legend, while the other 2 are both Super Sugo Fest exclusives, so it makes sense ability-wise for them to be stronger. They also have more overloaded kits than Nami does, and Nami follows the classic anniversary exclusive legend with a non-canon artwork that provides niche utility. And if you need the utility, she's very good at providing it. She is absolutely awesome. It doesn't mean she's trash because she's number 3. To get more into specifics, her special has 2 stages. We are going to focus on the maximum stage for now, but it's nice that she has 2 stages because you do have the possibility to activate her twice. The second stage once and then the first stage perhaps. She can reduce 7 turns of defense up and damage reduction, which is awesome removal. She can change all of crew slots to TND, including block slots, which is awesome. Not going through super block, but whatever. 3 turns of a base attack boost for 1500, which is very respectable for Sai, Slasher and Striker characters, and 3 turns means it can be carried over through stages, very good. And then, under specific requirements on the captain classes, she can apply weakened status to all enemies for 3 turns, and if you have 3 or more Straw Hat Pirates on the crew, she then can inflict weakened, ignoring enemy immunity, which is of course very good, and she gets special cooldown reduction as well. If you do need her utility, her damage boosting, because it is unique enough, can be extremely helpful, but she is more so focused on being a crewmate, which does make sense, but her captain ability is nothing to shy away from. Something I do not like though is that she boosts Sai, Slasher and Striker characters. It's not the best combination, but a Slasher Nami being in the game is definitely welcomed. Her multipliers are not out of this world, but still very decent. She can boost bellies earned by 4 times, I think making her now the best belly farming captain in the game, but I will be completely honest, no one cares. And if 4 or more characters with the Straw Hat Pirates tag are on the crew, she reduces bind and despair duration by 3. Which I do find kind of underwhelming. I would have preferred 5 turns, so with double Nami captain we can remove a total of 10, that would be better. I understand it is the Straw Hat Pirate tag though at the same time. 3 turns is still okay I guess, and alongside sockets and perhaps supports can go a long way. She is also a super tandem character and has an EX super. Her super tandem technically easy to access because of all of the Straw Hats in the condition. It is definitely good at maximum level. I wouldn't say something too worth just getting tons of Nami copies after. And then the EX super is kind of weird. Like it's fine, but nothing to get excited about, because it is easy to access. You either need Zoro, Brook, or 2 or more Slasher/Striker class characters, which is easy, but then she provides special cooldown reduction, specifically to herself though, not the entire crew, that would be way better obviously, and then she drops resistances for the 2 classes she can boost, and also for those 2 classes boosts the next final tap by 20%. At the number 2 spot, we have Kizaru. And in number 1, I will place Luffy and Zoro and Sanji. Bandai, are you happy? Thank you. Now, Kizaru is number 2 for a couple of reasons, but for veteran players with a very well established box, he could also be number 1. For newer players, 100% Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, number 1, without a doubt. But for veteran players, maybe also in specific situations, he can be better. Especially because Luffy, Zoro, Sanji covers all 3 characters, no matter what artwork you have active in your home screen, which means you can't use other great units that they are a part of. Kizaru doesn't have a lot of legends in the game. Let's talk abilities though. Why is he number 2? He can reduce the middle row character's special charge time by 6, and he can use his special twice in a quest. That's already fine. Then, if you have a Sai support on him, which is kind of weird as a requirement but very easy to accomplish, then he applies territory for the shooter class. He is shooter slasher, not the best combination, but for shooters he definitely does improve them. He provides chain boundaries, which is absolutely awesome, and he also does it for 2 turns, which means if we can increase it to 3, we're set for 2 stages. And finally, he has a chain multiplier growth rate boost if 5 or more Egghead, Navy or Logia type characters are in the crew, which is manageable, but something that does hold him back in the captain ability as well. He does want to play with Navy characters, and the Navy doesn't have the best characters in the game, let's simply put it. They will get a lot better soon enough, I'm sure, but as of right now you do kind of get limited by that. So for the captain ability, special charge time reduction at the start of the quest for 4 turns, awesome. He can boost Dex, Shooter and Slasher, and even units outside of those 3, but just with a lower multiplier, which is still good because he's versatile. He boosts HP, makes 2 slots matching, and only if he's captain from his action special for 3 turns, he boosts characters with specific character tags more, attack-wise. Also, for character tags, we have in the captain ability specific conditions, and if they are met, he gets even more effects. First of all, if you are from the Egghead or Logia type and Navy character tag, you get higher of an attack boost. If 3 or more Egghead, Logia or Navy are on the crew, he reduces Burn and Special Bind by 10 turns. Special Bind specifically, amazing. Burn, not the best. I guess we'll take it as a bonus. And now, if 4 or more Navy, unfortunately, are on the crew, this character's captain ability targeting effect will affect the crew, and special targeting types and classes will affect the entire crew. Kind of awesome, to be fair. Reminds me of the V2 Straw Hats when they were released, but under a very strict condition, so we do get limited team building, we do need to build around the Navy, which, as I said, will get better characters in the character tag in the future, that is for sure. Future-proof character, Kizaru is, that is 100% certainty. But even right now, building around character tags, if you have a very well developed box, will be significantly easier for you, so that's why I believe he is way better for veteran OPTC players. His crewmate abilities are good, the support is fine, nothing crazy, but his EX Super is nice as well. The requirement does mainly revolve around Navy characters again, which does make sense, but he can actually reduce Intimidation by 2 turns. If you do need it, that is awesome, but also extremely nice. He reduces top row character's special charge time by 4, not only for the captain specifically, the friend captain as well. It can be double Kizaru, it can be Kizaru and someone else, it works in both situations, can also help with special cooldown reverse, of course, in final stages. And then he boosts slot effects for 2 turns. And that is for the entire crew, by the way, not only for decks and the classes he boosts. Overall, this Kizaru is awesome for the shooter class, makes it a lot better, that is for sure. He is future-proof, he has chain boundaries, so that definitely helps. And with all the special cooldown reduction potential he has in his kit, you can make some cool combinations with characters that can captain swap too, especially if you run double Kizaru in your captain spots. And finally, of course, as we said, number 1, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, the big trio. And now this unit to me is a very classic case of a strong anniversary Luffy unit. Simple as that. They can do so many things, and it's not like they are special in a lot of ways or super unique. They do have that as well, but they just can provide power to your crew. So even with utility from the special, 10 turns of despair and paralysis removal is amazing. And on top of that, from the special, we have Psi territory for 3 turns, an ore boost for Psi, Free Spirit and Slashers, and then an attack boost for the same exact 3 things if the specific tag requirements are met. Moving on to the captain ability, you can see it here, they're simply good. To be honest, something I don't like is that they lack utility from their captain ability. They can make some slots have matching slots, that's fine, and yes, the special charge time reduction, versus effect, and switch effect causes reduction by 2 is nice, 100%, but no extra utility as far as special bind goes, bind and stuff like that. And for the unique tag abilities, they actually get stacking, essentially, for even more boosting. 3 or more Straw Hats though, or generally the tags of Straw Hat Pirates, 4 Emperors and Worst Generation, are much easier to meet than the Kizaru Navy ones. And to be completely honest, if you do get the stacking, then you will simply get way more damage output than you would without having this unit, especially if you play your cards right or if you have the correct units simply in your box. So they are without a doubt a powerhouse of a unit. And let's not forget, they do provide an ore boost and an attack boost themselves, if you play around the proper tags of course. The crewmate abilities are super mediocre, but to be honest this is meant to be a captain unit. The support effect is also super basic. And the EX Super helps with the utility aspect that this unit is kind of missing, other than the despair paralysis removal, because of slot manipulation. Every slot becomes TND, even block slots, which is very good. And then they also provide a color affinity boost, which means that in total, outside of this unit, if you do actually meet all of the requirements, you get the 3 basic boosts for damage in OPTC: attack boost, ore boost, and color affinity boost, with 2 of them being stacking, and they can be increased even further with the proper crewmates. But I do have to admit, the color affinity boosting being in the EX Super, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but the slot manipulation is very welcomed, that is for sure, because alongside the damage and the slight utility, that can allow you to have more team building freedom to build around the proper tags and characters to help you with more damage boosting, perhaps with the stacking if you do have access to that, or extra damage boosting out of different sources like base attack boosting, conditional attack boosting, chain boundaries, chain boosting, and stuff like that. And it goes without saying, utility that you need during the quest. And these are all of my rankings for the upcoming 11th anniversary part 1 characters. Let me know of your thoughts in the comments down below, and as always, thank you so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.